Good morning. How are you today? Welcome to Coffee and Create. I had to pause my visual for just a moment because I lost my coffee, and I've got to have a large cup to get started sometimes. Listen, I'm so excited, and it happened within the last 20 minutes. Because I had a project in my mind. I knew exactly what I wanted to do this morning. I'm Diane Pruitt, and we're live at Two Girls Treasure for our weekly tutorial, Coffee and Create. And sometimes, even though you have the best laid plans, they can go awry. Awry is a great word. It means that I did something I did not intend to do. I'm hoping that I'm live. Say hello if you're with me. I want to make sure I'm on all the channels. You can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us on YouTube. And you can shop the collection, the May Coffee and Create collection, live on our website. So you can watch the tutorial, and if you see a product, good morning. Jana, isn't it sad that I'm getting old and from here to there I can't see who's in? But thank you for saying hello. Sometimes I worry that I'm just talking to myself. But the May Coffee and Create collection is our preparation, our tribute to all the things fabulous in May. We love to picnic, and I know what Memorial Day is all about. It is very dear to our family. However, I know that it also in May kicks off a celebratory season. Cinco de Mayo, you might suggest. Picnics with the family, barbecues. We have a race coming up because we're right down the street from Darlington Raceway. And it's Mother's Day as well. Treat your mother to a wonderful picnic, even if it's just at the kitchen table. Our Coffee and Create collection of products are the collection that we are going to use in all of our tutorials in the month. And because we put them together in a collection, you can make your purchases in a bundle and save. So today I'm going to introduce to you the colors that we have for May. We are going to celebrate with cotton. I love a vintage picnic, and if you have cotton and cloud and you look at the differences between the two, cloud is very, very white, and cotton is very soft, gentle. We're gonna go with the cotton. We also celebrate with our firecracker red ruby. This is gonna look amazing as well. And because we love this color and it has endless possibilities, we are going to use Farmhouse Navy. LaDawn, good morning. I love that word, don't you? Awry. We try so hard to keep things straight. I love the glazes, and we have not been working with them. So in May, we will. We're gonna work with our antique brown, which is our original Rethunk Junk glaze. We're also gonna work with soft white. Because this is all vintage, we're gonna make it look vintage. Vintage picnic. So this morning, in addition to the paint colors, I've already cut this apart, but this is your Iron Orchid Designs Pretty in Pink stamp set. There are 5 different plaid stamps on this sheet. There's one small checker, there is a larger plaid, there's a bow, then you have your cross sections you can lay over the top of anything you're using. We have the reusable masks that are still in their packaging. And this, my friends, This is the checkerboard buffalo check we will be using for today's tutorial. I had to take just an extra minute to go back in and add one more product to the collection. I did add the brayers because you're going to want one of those this month to follow along with the collection. And this is La Campagna. We have used this as soon as it was available because it's so cool. But let me show you what we're gonna do today. I am so excited now. I was excited to come do Coffee and Create. I had a vision for what I wanted to do and I was like, but let me find something else. Maybe let's simplify it a little bit because you know I love to do big projects. But big projects mean you might not get done. You see the bed rails? Wait a minute. You see the bed rails behind me? I'm still working on those. I've got the headboard completely finished. I've got the footboard almost finished. But big projects take big time. You see that rooster right there? You see that big old rooster? I've been waiting to use him. Today's the day. Today is the day we're using this. So I added La Campagna to the collection. And here's how the Coffee and Create collection works. I'm going to grab my cotton off the top of the shelf. And if you are watching on our website, you can drop that menu down. Pardon me. I hate to open a new container if I already have one. You can drop that menu down and you can take a look at all of these products. If you want to purchase just the paint, buy any 2 pints and 2 glazes and save with the coupon code PICNIC. And if you want to add the Iron Orchid Design products to your order so you have the whole kit and caboodle, then you add Pretty in Plaid and La Campagna to your order and you will save even more. Good morning, Jamie. How are you doing, hon? Thanks for being here. I have this little wooden box. I save boxes, whether they're cardboard or wooden, when they're good. But look right here in the middle. Do you see that? It's a hole. I did not drill it. It was there when I got the box, but does that just not look like something that could be made into an awesome clock? It does to me too. I could do it this way and we would have a surface in the back, and so it would stick up off the wall this much. And I like that because if I put Clockworks in it, then it's gonna stick out right here. And if I do it this way and put, if I put everything inside, then the Clockworks are gonna stick up off the back, and I'm not real sure how I feel about that. I love this way because it frames itself in, makes a little shelf on the bottom. But if I do that, the Clockworks are gonna stick out. There's only about a ½ inch back here. The Clockworks are gonna stick out about an inch. But I don't know, what do you think? I love it inside. What would you do? Let's get started painting it and we'll talk about it and decide. I need y'all to help me out with that because sometimes I'm very decisive and I know exactly how I want something to go. I know how I want this to look. I don't know which direction to put it in. And this is bare wood, y'all, but this is also old wood. It's dirty wood. So we're gonna prep it really good. No matter which side we use, we need to clean it. Would you use it with the framed inside or would you use it this way? See, it's got dirt all over the back of it. Would you use it this way? I don't know. I love it no matter which way we do it. You know, this kind of looks, this is the way it's gotta go, y'all. The frame side to the back. Good morning, Lynette. I'm gonna do, there's a little bit of a frame around it right here. So I think I'll do it on this side. We'll leave the open side to the back. That way the Clockworks will set in and they won't interrupt anything, and we can put hooks on it and it'll hang up pretty, and we'll have an amazing little clock right here. Let's get some paint on it. Let's get some paint. If you are calling Two Girls Treasure, I am sorry I can't get to the phone right now. We are full on in an amazing project, and we're gonna do this before we do that. We're not open until 10. We don't open until 10 a.m. I don't see anyone at the front door. Maybe if I be real quiet, they won't see me. Of course, if they're at the other door, they'll see me. Let me get all the way in here. And this is probably gonna take 2 good coats. I'm gonna throw the fan on it to dry. I may not even have to. This wood is so dry, it's just gonna suck this paint up. But a really vintage May for us with our Coffee and Create collection. Some of the best times I remember growing up were with my family. May started a season where we had fish fries and dinners at the lake, and there were bullfrogs and crickets and loons. If you're from up north, hey Lisa, if you're from up north, you know what a loon is. If you're from down south, do you know what a loon is? It's a type of duck. And if you're my age, and yes, I'm gonna go ahead and age myself, you'll remember the movie on Golden Pond, right? And that movie was Katharine Hepburn. Somebody help me with her husband's name. Oh, pooh, who was he? Who's a movie buff and remembers the movie on Golden Pond? I can see him, I can't call his name. Fabulous actor. But I remember Katharine Hepburn calling to the loons. And while that shouldn't make anyone cry, that made me cry, because that made me remember my grandmother used to call to the loons. But I remember those wonderful family picnics. Everybody was there. All the cousins were there. The aunts and uncles were there. If they were out of state or out of town, that's when they would come home. That's when they would come home. What are your favorite memories of May and the start to your summer? What are your favorite memories? I love this time of year. I'm gonna grab my fan and bring it on in. It's a little cool this morning because it's still spring and we're feeling it. It'll be nice and warm this afternoon. Henry Fonda, thank you, LaDawn. We aged ourselves, but I'm good with that. I love you for it. Henry Fonda on Golden Pond. Do you remember that movie? What are your favorite memories from the kickoff of summer? I hope you have great memories of wonderful picnics, because this month our Coffee and Create collection and all of our tutorials are all about the wonderful memories we all have from summer picnics. I'm gonna move you over to the center space. I've got this drying, and while it's drying, let's open up La Campagna. Now I've got my Pretty in Plaid. Let me cover that over. He's a big old boy. And that's perfect. I'm going to put him right in the middle. But I'll tell you what I'm going to need. I'm going to need these stamping masks. That's for Pretty in Plaid. That's not the one I'm going to need. Because I want him in the center. And in order to put him in the center and then create the checkerboard around him, I'm going to need to use these masks. Now, if you've never used them, let me introduce them to you. Stamps are a funny thing. They're really not hard to use, are they, Lynette? But once you start using them and you create your vision, you don't want to lay one stamp over the top of another. And the way to protect your work is with your masks. Now I'm looking at this and I don't see my big rooster. So I'm probably gonna have to grab, there's another sheet. There's another, because this is a 2-sheet set, there's another set of masks right here. So I want my rooster to stand out and not be underneath my checkerboard. We're gonna do red check over cotton, and we're gonna do our La Campagna rooster right in the middle of the clock. And if I think this through, I can probably find a Clockworks that has a rooster crowing. Wouldn't that be cool? We're gonna lay our rooster right there on the center. And once I stamp that rooster down, I'm gonna cover it with the mask so I can go around the outside with my Pretty in Plaid stamp. And see, if I didn't cover my rooster, my stamp would cover my rooster's head. We don't want that. So we're gonna use our stamping masks. I'm gonna go ahead and throw some more cotton. We're using cotton. I'm gonna throw some cotton back on this board because we need that to dry. Did you have great picnics? LaDawn, if you remember on Golden Pond, I'm gonna go ahead and say you had great memories of being at the lake with your family, having picnics. Your grandmother was making strawberry shortcake this time of the year. I got strawberries the other night. I am looking forward to some lemon cake with strawberries tonight. That'll be wonderful, won't it? I remember my nanny making strawberry shortcake. And oh, the whipped cream she would put on it. It was homemade. Everything she made was homemade. Nothing, almost nothing came from the store. The vegetables came out of the garden because my grandfather was a farmer. The strawberries came out of the garden and they were wonderful. And if you're from up north, you know exactly what I mean when I say strawberry rhubarb pie was a real thing. So I'm hoping that this Coffee and Create collection and the series of tutorials we're going to bring you in May will spark some amazing and happy memories for you and inspire you to create some of your own summer decor using these color combinations. Now, if you have not been on our website lately, the giant logos are still there. I'm getting fond of them, but I'll get to fixing them sometime. Those are not my priority item. My priority item is making sure that I have wonderful tutorials to offer you. So I'm going to double the screen so I can talk to you. I like to look at you. Faye, if you're with me, this is why the screen looks like this, because I split it in two. So while the paint is drying, I can talk to you. I like to see you. I can't really see you, but you can see me. In our Coffee and Create collection series, starting at the end of May, and I believe the date is Saturday, May 30th, we will offer our traditional Smalls on Saturday. You can come in with your own piece of decor or furniture, something small enough to fit in the passenger seat of your car. That's a good judge of small, right? And you bring that in and you can walk through the 3 steps of Rethunk Junk Paint. We will prep it, we will paint it, and we will protect it. I will teach you that on Saturday, May 30th. Now, I will also introduce you to the June Coffee and Create collection on that day. If you want to go 1 or 2 steps further than just the Smalls on Saturday, then sign up for the Design Workshop series. In that series, you'll do Smalls on Saturday, and then you will come back again to Two Girls Treasure for 2 more 2-hour class sessions where we will go 2 more steps past the paint, and we will use the Coffee and Create collection products to help you create your own designer piece of decor or furniture. Sound like fun? I'm excited about it. It sounds like a wonderful way to walk you through the processes of the different products that we use, and you can be hands-on in the Two Girls Treasure Studio 3 times a month and produce a designer piece with the Coffee and Create collection. If you need more details, call me after 10 and I'll give you everything you need to know. This is getting good and dry. Good and dry. I think it is dry enough for us to put some stamp on it. What color do we want this La Campagna rooster? Black? Gold? Pewter? What color do we want him? You know what? I know. I have the bronze left over from Saturday's tutorial, and that's perfect. That's it right there. I know exactly what color we're gonna make our rooster. We're gonna do the rooster in a bronze. This is midnight and copper mixed in a 50-50 or a 1-to-1 ratio. I used it to create a project that we're going to set aside until our June design series. All right, let me grab, I need a sheet of acetate to put the paint on, because when I am painting, when I am using my paint to, I'll use this. When I'm using my paint to use my brayer, I don't want to stick my brayer down in the paint, and I definitely need a surface. Let's turn that off. I definitely need a surface where I can roll my brayer out so I can make sure and get a nice thin load on my brayer so I don't over saturate my rooster. So let me set the lid to the side. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see. Y'all can see this right here. This is just the back plate of a slate board. Not gonna hurt anything. I'll clean it off later. I'm gonna pour just enough because I don't need much to do that rooster. I'm gonna clean the lip edge off. There we go. I'm getting better about this. How about y'all? Are you working hard to keep your are you working hard to keep your lip edges on your paint cleaned off? I try so hard. Let's move that out of the way. All right, we're going to center our rooster right there. I'm really not gonna take this, I'm not gonna cut the sheet apart. I am gonna take him off of here so we don't have all the extras to deal with. Let me move Pretty in Pink, Pretty in Plaid out of the way. I do want to call it Pretty in Pink. We're going to lay that right there. I've got my center hole. Got a little bit of a wet spot there. Got a little bit of color, little bit of bleed through around the bottom edge right here. I'm okay with it simply because I know we're going to stamp over that section, and once I stamp the ruby red over it, I don't think you'll see it, and it'll be okay. Let's kick over just to this camera so you can see really well what I do. You see my torn paper up here? I tried to move my cabinet from Saturday off the table, and I almost did another tutorial on the counter paint on this table today. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Roll that paint out into a nice thin load on your brayer. You don't want too much. You don't want too little. You want to be careful when you're using paint because paint will dry quickly. And you don't want your paint to dry quickly when you're braying a giant rooster. All right. Got a little bit of fuzz right there. We moved it. Anybody else have dogs that get their hair in your projects? Yeah. Dog hair in your projects is not a good look, but I do love my puppies. All right. My rooster in bronze is going to look amazing. 50-50 midnight and copper gave me this beautiful bronze finish. Here's the danger in taking him off the back plate. He gets floppy. So once you lay him down, leave him alone. I'm gonna hold it, anchor it with one hand. I'm gonna tickle all of the relief spots with my other. I wanna make sure all the details of that beautiful tail feather plume show up. Let's tamp him in. I don't wanna miss any of the details on this stamp, because this is a very detailed stamp. He's beautiful. So whatever color you want him to look, do it from the get-go. You can watercolor some in on him, but if you want that vintage look, don't worry so much about him looking like a real rooster. That's a pretty good vintage image. A little bit vague, not too dark. If I want some more, I would mount it back to the back sheet. Even if I cut it apart, I would mount it to the back sheet if I was gonna stamp it again. So I'd have more stiff control over the entire stamp. This is a large stamp, and when they're large and you don't have any support, they're floppy, see? So if I was gonna stamp over him again, I would definitely wanna make sure that I have him on his back plate, on his acetate. So I'm gonna push him over to the side. He is because the paint dries so quickly, he's almost dry. I'm gonna clean my brayer real quickly. And I reckon since I made such a mess on this board, I'm gonna have to grab another one for my other color. That's all right. We'll let him dry. Let me grab another backboard, because I have one right here. We'll move this one out of the way, and we'll put this one in the way. Set those down. You see, you didn't see the table. It looks so good. All right, now let's get out our ruby red. We're gonna lay this mask over the rooster, and it literally masks him. It protects him from the next step, because we don't want him covered up. I don't have my, all right, here we go. I was getting better about my lids, I really was. But boy, this one's on tight. Let me find a tool, because I know I've got one right here somewhere. Let me grab a spoon. That works as a tool too. Taylor and I used a spoon to take a screw out recently, because that is all we had with us on the truck. It worked. It absolutely worked. There we go. I put this one on crooked, and it's got a little bit of gummy spot on it. That's why it wouldn't open. Got it now, got it now. All right, I don't need near as much paint, so I'm gonna be really conservative this time. All right, we'll start in the corners. We'll move all the way around, and we'll backfill where we need to. You ready? Ruby red, Pretty in Plaid, cotton. These are the Coffee and Create collection products for May. And I will have to go back and look to see. I think we have a free with purchase gift for you. It doesn't matter if you order online or if you come pick up in person. We have a gift with purchase. All right, y'all ready for this? Let me make sure I get it in the corner. Oh, you know what? We've got a little bit of the acetate sticking out, so our checkerboard is going to be just off the edge. It'll be okay. It'll still be square. This one's a little easier to impress. Anchor your stamps while you impress so they don't wiggle around. You don't want a wiggly image. Oh, look at that. Look at that. I love the checkerboard. This Pretty in Plaid stamp came out at Christmas, but the implications for your decor surpass one holiday. So Pretty in Plaid was offered as a permanent addition until it's retired to the Iron Orchid Design stamp collection. I think this is the last one I had in stock. So if you want the Pretty in Plaid so that you can create a similar look, it's on the way. Look at our rooster. Now I need one little piece right here at the bottom. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Let's see, how is this gonna fit the best? Right here. So I just need to ink this line and a little piece right here, right? That'll give us, if I do the line right here, I think that'll give us what we need. I'm gonna move this over just a little bit so it's centered I should have enough paint on it. I'm not gonna lay the whole stamp down because I don't wanna mess up my other side. There we go. Oh, I took my rooster off. There we go. Let's keep him covered up. Yeah, that's, this is the way. Now I need to come in on this side and tink that little area right there, just like that. Just a little tink, just a little tink. There we go. Lay back down, boom. Sometimes if your paint is really good and dry, and of course ours is not because I'm time limited this morning, but if your paint has dried really well before you start stamping, then just take a piece of tape, and if you're not doing anything around the rooster, you can tape the edges. If you are, roll the tape, tuck it underneath, and it'll hold your mask down without incident. All right, we will lay that down there. I don't want to cover him completely. He's so pretty. So pretty. There we go. Oh, it looks like I covered his head, doesn't it? Wait till I take the mask off, and I'll show you what that does for him. It protects him. That mask keeps this red paint from covering him up and making a mess out of his face. He will not look like we're fixing to eat him for dinner. Although I do love chicken. Although I do love some chicken. Just saying. There we go. I'm gonna hold him down so he doesn't come up. Got a nice image there. And we'll just tink this right here and right here. So we've got a full image all the way around. Love it. Tinked a little too much. I should be using my mask for Pretty in Plaid, and I'm not. Shame on me for that. But just a quick tutorial to show you the beginnings of our Coffee and Create May collection. It's all about the plaid. It is all about the rooster. I'm gonna spray this piece of plaid with Prep. That will get the paint off quicker and easier. And if I spray it, because it has so much detail, it'll just wipe right out. There we go. I'll get a clean baby wipe and just tamp it first. I'm gonna cap my paint. I will clean the edge off before I totally close it. And I'll get this red paint off my plaid. Although, this is just the beginning of something beautiful happening here today. I hope you get the chance to come by and see us. Two Girls Treasure is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. And we would love to see you. Come by and take a look at the countertop painted table. Talk about the options that you have. Look at the nearly completed projects from last month's Coffee and Create collection. And take a look at this month's Coffee and Create collection. We're using ruby red, cotton, farmhouse navy, and antique brown and soft white glaze from the Rethunk Junk collection. We are also using Pretty in Plaid and La Campagna from the Iron Orchid Designs stamp collection, along with a mandatory brayer, because you've got to have a good brayer to do your stamping work. Now, let me show you what a mask does for your work. The mask protects your image. I'll turn it around so you can see it good. That rooster went on first, and because I used my mask, that rooster's image is protected, and now we have a beautiful red and white check border all the way around him. He's cute, and he will have a Clockworks on him soon. I think this is a great clock for a country kitchen. I don't think I'm even going to do anything around the edges. I'm going to leave them in cotton. I'll put the Clockworks on here, and I think that will be a beautiful addition to someone's kitchen. Maybe mine, but I have a cat clock in mine. So I don't know if I've got any room to do a rooster. Maybe it'll go in yours. Maybe you would love to create one of these rooster red and white checkered clocks for your own kitchen. Well, if you do, now you know how, and you know what products we used. So all you have to do is drop down that menu on the website, choose your paint colors and your Iron Orchid Design products, and create your own bundle. If you want just the paint, use the coupon code PICNIC. If you want the paint and the Iron Orchid Designs, use the coupon code TABLE, PICNIC TABLE. So that is our focus for the entire month of May. I am going to get some more fresh strawberries and vegetables. I am going to create a cookout feast for my homestead. I hope you will too. If you have any questions at all about any of the projects that we're doing, or if you want to get in on the fun, well, don't be left at home not doing anything great. Joe, good morning. Grab your Rethunk Junk paint supplies, get your bundles, Rethunk Junk paint, 2 pints, 2 glazes, use the coupon code PICNIC, and add the La Campagna and the Pretty in Plaid. You can even add your brayer, and use the coupon code TABLE. PICNIC TABLE will get you an extra special discount on all these products this month. So grab them and go to work. Before you grab anything else, get yourself a cup of coffee. We're gonna need it this week. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. I will show you when I'm done after I get the Clockworks on it. I'm excited for the way this looks. I might even add a little more color to my rooster. He's so cute. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Diane from Two Girls Treasure, live in Florence, South Carolina. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. I'm not smart enough to do the stars thing. I've been trying, but I have not gotten there yet. Share with your friends. It's perfectly acceptable for you to do so. Thank you so much for being here, y'all. I'll look forward to seeing you again real soon.